Hi, everyone. Bill Renchler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. It is Tuesday again. Usually we're hanging out with Josh Planos on Mondays, but Josh, this is now 2 Tuesdays in a row that we've been hanging out. We better be careful one more, and it's going to be a habit here. But hanging out, talking about kind of just ways to watch your wallet and always have interesting topics. And today, again, no different. We're talking about Olympic Games are starting here in just a couple days. And the BBB sees kind of a little spike in certain types of scams during the Olympic Games.
Yeah, over the next few weeks, there are going to be a lot of eyeballs on Paris and the athletes that are representing their respective countries. But anytime there's a marquee sporting event, think the NFL postseason, think the World Series, anytime there's a huge sporting event that commands millions of eyeballs, billions of dollars in attention, there's going to be scammers who are interested in getting a cut of the action. And at past games, what we have fielded are reports of scams targeting both consumers and business owners. That impacts everything from advertisements for merchandise to text alerts to be able to stream the certain sporting events to even job postings around the games themselves. So certainly something to be on the lookout for as you're enjoying your experience. You want to make sure, again, you're safely navigating those consumer decisions, because there are a lot actually that revolve around something that really brings home a lot of nationalism and a lot of pride for sports.
Yeah, and I imagine the signing up for some variation of some streaming service has probably really rocketed up your guys' list here over the past several years. Again, as hopefully most everyone knows, again, you can watch the Olympics on NBC and on Peacock and things like that. And again, with the event being in Paris, it's not necessarily lining up with our prime time here in the United States. So the timing of it is going to be kind of all sorts of wonky, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff that's gets put on the main NBC channel, but there's going to be a lot of events that get put on Peacock and on that streaming service. And so streaming is one of those things that we want people to watch out for here over the next several weeks.
Yeah, streaming's a part of the language, right? I mean, there was about a decade ago that was not really the case, but that's something that is ever prevalent. We talk about this pretty regularly, Bill, during the fall with things like high school football or high school basketball. Anytime there's a certain amount of confusion around how best to be able to stream or watch live a certain sporting event, there's going to be an opportunity to send out maybe an alleged opportunity to stream those games in real time. In a lot of cases, those are not actually through official channels. What we found the last games was there were a lot of links to stream particular sporting events in the comments on social media posts. So again, even less verification required to get that comment posted, and really you have no guarantee that the site that you're going to is not merely a ploy to gain access to your personal information. And that might seem like a small thing, right? If there's like a no charge associated with this type of subscription or no charge associated with streaming. But that information is really useful in the aggregate. And that's really what a lot of scammers are after is, a quick payday is nice, but a better one from their perspective is the ability to perpetuate ongoing scams to impact someone who has their accounts compromised. So you want to make sure you're only using those official links. As you mentioned, you can watch this in prime time on NBC and on Peacock. But you want to also be aware that there's going to be a lot of opportunities that are almost tailor-made to your interests. So if you follow a certain sport in particular through your Instagram account, you might see some social media advertising to say you like basketball. There might be an ad that is about how you can stream the Olympic team as they make their way toward what's hopefully another gold medal. Right. But you really don't have a guarantee that you're actually being taken to an official site. So if you see these streaming opportunities, one, it's best to avoid them entirely if you don't know for certain that they are going to take you to an official channel. But two, you want to make sure that you're doing your due diligence before you even input very basic personal information about yourself, because there might be harmful effects later on down the road.
And one of the, if you go back and look at sort of the scam tracker from the last games back in 2022, one of the things that actually kind of ticked up and kind of surprising when you look at it is job scams. Can you kind of walk us through what you guys saw with job scams? Doesn't really seem like those two things would go together.
Yeah. So, we've had a couple of investigations pertaining to employment fraud in recent years because of course, with the pandemic, there are all of these remote and hybrid opportunities that never existed previously that allow folks to make a certain amount of money from the comforts of their own home, and that's really great in theory. But there are also a lot of red flags that job seekers are willing to look past that they otherwise wouldn't, and probably otherwise wouldn't have the ability to look past if they were forced into an office setting. So, in particular, things like vehicle wraps are pretty common in the job fraud space. So someone asks you to ride around town with something that is plastered around your vehicle. In some cases, or in previous cases, I would say that NBC was impersonated. But that really, unless you're seeing the amount of money materialize in your bank account, you really don't know that that is a legitimate offering. And in some cases, this is merely a tactic used by a scammer to get a ruse out of someone. So, I forced you into an employment opportunity that didn't exist, and I get a laugh out of it. In other cases, though, you are paying for the wrap under the pretense that you are going to be reimbursed for the wrap, and then that never comes, right? And not only that, but you're also doing harm to your vehicle. But we do see this also with things like reshipping. So someone pays you to unbox and rebox goods that might involve, say, team merchandise. So a lot of business owners are going to look to outfit their company during like watch parties or as a way to kind of build some camaraderie around Team USA. And that's a great thing in theory, right? But you want to make sure that those products are actually through official licensed stores and not counterfeit merch, and that you are not accepting any sort of position where you would be asked to unbox and rebox goods. Because just from a logistical perspective, that's not really something that I think a lot of companies would sign up for, right? You're creating an impediment for someone to be able to receive a package. You could also see why a criminal enterprise might use a system like that to be able to redirect traffic and redirect attention to mask what is a scam.
Yeah, again, the Olympics, and again, rightfully so, there's a lot of rules when it comes to using the logo and things like that. Working in the broadcast side of things, there are very specific rules about what we can and what we cannot broadcast. And the same then extends, again, like you just mentioned, into that sphere of merchandise, whether it's clothing or whatever else it might be. So again, if it's not from like the official Olympic website or the official Team USA website, there's a good chance it's probably counterfeit and it's not real.
Yeah, the official site of Team USA is teamusashop.com. So very easy to remember URL. You're also, though, going to see a lot of URLs that sound exactly like that, but might be a few characters different, which are merely meant to impersonate that site and appear as though it's an official seller. Again, cost is absolutely, undeniably a factor when you are purchasing anything. But you want to make sure, again, if you're looking to outfit your company, you're looking to buy something to support a gymnast or a basketball player or even just the entire team, and it's a company that you haven't heard of before, please just take a second and look up that company on bbb.org. See if they've got contact information, see if they have a proven track record. All of this you really want to know before you provide payment information, because you really don't have a way to get that back once you've allowed it to fall into the hands of someone who is not interested in actually selling you any goods whatsoever. So even if you just see this as a final safety check, right, it'll save you a lot of headaches on the back end.
So we have fake streaming links, counterfeit merchandise, job scams, and then like most everything else, you guys also have seen from previous games a little uptick again when and using the Olympics as kind of the hook, but phishing texts and phishing emails that kind of spike up during this time as well.
We have. We released an investigative study last month, which Bill, you and I spoke about, which found that phishing scams had reached an all-time high according to BBB Scam Tracker data. And the expectation is for those reports to continue, because not only is it a good opportunity for scammers to get a quick payday, but it's also a good opportunity for them to understand who is an active user, right? And an active user is really anyone who engages with a phone call, a text, email, you name it. They're looking to see if they can perpetuate scams over a considerable length of time, right? It's more financially lucrative for them to scam people in multiple ways over an extended period of time than it is in one fell swoop. So over the next month, again, you might get a lot of text messages, you might get a lot of emails in general, but some of them over the next month might involve offers for gear that sounds like it's from legitimate sellers, or it might be that text message saying, "Hey, if you want to stream, the volleyball competition, click this link and we'll take you right there." All of those communications, again, are merely engineered to get you to respond. And that might seem like a very small thing, but when you think about it only requiring a single click to start a malware download, or for accounts to be compromised, or for that information to get in the hands of someone who's interested in continuing to communicate with you over a period of time, we really should tread far more carefully than we currently do with any sort of unsolicited communication. To do that, again, if they have a company name included in the text, or they're impersonating a company via email, visit that company site directly. Typically, their contact information is listed right there. If not right on the homepage, then on the Contact Us page. And you want to make sure, again, you're asking questions before rather than after. So tread carefully with that unsolicited communication, because the reality is we're going to see a lot of it.
And it's supposed to be, the next couple of weeks supposed to be a lot of fun. Watching, a lot of sports that we're used to, but also a lot of sports that we're not used to seeing. They're going to have people swimming in the Thames River, and I know there's going to be, I think, sand volleyball right in front of the Eiffel Tower. So there's going to be a lot of fun sports, a lot of fun things to do over the next few weeks with the games. And again, just also one of those things in today's day and age. We want to watch it, we want to have fun, but we also need to kind of watch out for some of the nefarious activities that go along with it.
You think about how much of a limelight moment this is for so many sports. To your point, Bill, we've got breaking, which is dancing, right, for the first time in the Olympics. There are all of these sports that this is the single most important moment for that sport over the next 4 years. That drives a lot of sales, right? There are a lot of children, teenagers, you name it, who get into sports based on watching the athletes thrive. And obviously their stories resonate with their home communities, but also with those who are interested in trying something new. So there are going to be a lot of products, right, that come out that might be tools to take part in a sport that might appear to be branded. We want to make sure that that's a fantastic thing, and that's a really great credit to the games and all that it inspires generation after generation. But you want to make sure you're carefully navigating those decisions, so you can actually enjoy them and not have to, unfortunately, play cleanup duty.
So, Josh, over the next several weeks, which sport will you be most excited to kind of take in and watch?
I would say that the basketball on my shelf probably gives me away, but I am interested in seeing, of course, Jordan Larson and JWO with the volleyball team.
I have the list here, and there's just, trampoline, just because I know I wouldn't be able to do any, and they go so high, and it just looks like they're going to break an ankle every single time. Skateboarding, I'll be excited to see that. Surfing, which you don't really think Paris and surfing, but surfing. And then I obviously really like the golf. Again, Xander Schauffele, who just won the British Open, he had previously won a gold medal as well, so he'll get to try and repeat for Team USA winning another gold medal.
I love tuning in for primetime coverage. I just feel like I'm exposed to all sorts of sports that realistically I'm not thinking about all that often, and the stories are really what capture our hearts and our minds. So I certainly love hearing about sports that are new and exciting, but also some of those long-standing staples that America is quite good at. I'm also a fan of,
like the canoe slalom. I don't know if Team USA is going to field a team for the canoe slalom, but we'll just have to watch and find out. All right, Josh, I appreciate your time today. Anything else you just wanted to get in there before we let you go?
Just lastly, if you experience something, it's really important to come forward with that information. Please report it. Again, this is a wonderful month. It's a great month to be inspired, to get excited about something new. We certainly recommend you monitor and enjoy all that the games have to offer. But if you do see something, it's really important to report that experience. bbb.org/scam tracker. It'll take all of 2.5 minutes to report, and you'll be able to protect someone from needing to go through that experience. So again, there's no threshold that needs to be met, but please come forward with your story if you do experience something that is in the scam realm.
And I had just punched that up again when we're talking about again scams during the games, and a lot of the things listed on here, it's $0 lost because they kind of figured it out, but then they did report it. But there's some on here that are up to $1,800 lost. So again, any amount of money, it could be no money at all. Make sure you just throw it on there so people can find out about it, and hopefully someone else can avoid it as well.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, Josh, again, thanks for your time today. As always, we really appreciate it. We'll see you next week, all right?
Thank you, Bill. Take care.
That was Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau. Again, always appreciate his time. Again, usually we talk on Mondays, but last 2 weeks we've been Tuesdays, so we'll kind of have to just wait and see what we do next week. But appreciate everyone for tuning in, for watching. As always, keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all of your latest news, weather, and sports. Until next time, folks, have a good one.